Welcome, Sens Talk.
Stützle winds in, feeds it back across the strike, and scores! Brady Tkachuk makes it 2-0. Giroux, hit alone, scores!
Tim Stützle across, Tkachuk score! The captain, Brady Tkachuk, buries it with 1:18 to go.
See you later. Go, Sens, go. Welcome to Sens Talk. My name is Brandon Plant, and I'm your host. Tonight, Ottawa took on the Montreal Canadiens, Les Habitants, as Ottawa looks to win 9 straight games against the Montreal Canadiens. They look to continue their domination, while, look, it would not be easy as Tim Stützle would remain out of the lineup. I know for Hab fans, they are very, very fond of our Timmy Stu, Brandon Gallagher in particular. Kids are watching, ladies and gentlemen. Too bad Stützle was not there in the game tonight, but it didn't matter. Let's just say that. As Ottawa, as I've already mentioned, looks to win 9 straight games. If they win tonight, it would tie a franchise record for wins in a row against a single opponent. The other two teams, I believe, Buffalo for sure, and I think the other one is Edmonton. So Ottawa is looking to make a little bit of magic happen tonight. Well, talking about Ottawa's success against Montreal as of late, you look at the starting goaltender for Ottawa, Joonas Korpisalo. He's had tremendous success against Montreal in his career. He's 7-2 against the team from Montreal with a .923 save percentage. Pretty good. Can't lie with you. Well, Caden Primo for the Montreal Canadiens is 2-1 with a .906 save percentage. So solid numbers, not bad at all, league average, but Korpisalo, pretty good. 7-2, .923 save percentage. Looking to improve on that to make it 8 wins tonight. So let's get into it. Enough yapping. Let's jump right into it to the first period of play. And while Montreal will not score on the opening shot or two, which is an absolute miracle, God bless for that. Unfortunately, they would score the opening goal, though. Just under 10 minutes into this one, Mike Matheson steals it off of Jake Sanderson turnover. A very rare turnover for the Sandman on a shorthanded breakaway. Matheson, who is sneakily good, especially on the breakaway. He's got some hands. He shows them off here. Beats Korpisalo on the breakaway. They make it 1-0 off the shorthanded goal. The Canadiens strike first. Once again, Matheson, very, very underrated. He's had a fantastic year. But Ottawa would respond 4 minutes later on the power play. Jake Sanderson gets some redemption. He takes a shot from the point. And El Capitano with the power play goal. And goal number 36 on the year. A new career high for Brady Tkachuk. And Ottawa ties it at 1-1. And by the way, with the assist on Brady Tkachuk's goal, Claude Giroux has tied Brady Tkachuk's father, Keith Tkachuk, for 72nd place on the NHL all-time scoring list with 1,065 points. Shout out to John Perlberg for that stat, but shout out to Claude Giroux for tying Brady Tkachuk's father, Keith Tkachuk, for 72nd all-time on NHL points. I think it's absolutely hilarious that he did that off a Brady Tkachuk goal. So shout out to Brady Tkachuk helping Giroux beat his father's all-time point record, I suppose. And that would be it after first period of play. And a bit of a chippy affair. Once again, Ottawa, as usual, is chasing the game. But Ottawa and Montreal are battling. It was a very entertaining opening period. Both goaltenders were forced to make some big stops. And Mark Haslick, by the way, would deal with an upper body injury. He would not return for the second and third period, so he would be out for the remainder of the game. Tough to see that for a guy like Haslick, who is frankly battling for a spot on this team for next year in these final games. With only 2 games remaining on Monday and Tuesday against the Rangers in Boston, who knows if he comes back? We'll see what happens with that. And, just on the point of injuries, I mentioned briefly at the beginning that Tim Stützle, is still out with that injury. Look, I think at this point you got to shut down Tim Stützle. It makes no sense to put him into the lineup at this point. Once again, 2 games left. They're meaningless games. We're basically clinched for where we are in the standings with, let's just say, the result of this game, right? So at this point, shut down Timmy Stu. People are going to say, oh, he didn't hit 20 goals this year. Yeah, well, he hit 70 points. Not bad. Not bad if you ask me. So shut down Tim Stützle. And for Mark Haslick, this may be the end for him. Hopefully not, though. And hopefully he will be back for Monday, because Belleville's in a playoff push right now. And frankly, we cannot take any more of their players. They need those guys down there to make that final push and hold on for that final playoff spot. So let's go to the second period of play, where it was a back and forth affair. And you're going to get used to that in this game where one team scores to take the lead and then the other team ties it. Well, you're going to get into a bit of a rhythm here to see which team takes the lead and which team has consistently tied it. As we go to the second period of play, and under 2 minutes in to the second period of play, of course, it's Cole Caulfield. Whenever he plays Ottawa and whenever Shane Pinto plays against Montreal, these two guys go off. A little bit of foreshadowing. As Cole Caulfield opens the second period with a goal to make it a Habs lead again. It's 2-1 for Montreal. Parker Kelly loses a board battle. The Sens aren't covering the slot, of course, and Caulfield takes advantage to make it 2-1 off a big rebound there as well. You know what? At the end of the day, once again, you need to win the board battles. You need to cover the guy in the slot. And yeah, it's a big rebound, but if you're not going to win the board battle and you're going to lose your guys in the slot and basically allow free real estate out front, these goals are going to happen. Blame the goalie all you want. 2 mistakes led to that goal and the big rebound. So poor defense and poor, awareness by Ottawa and the defense as well in the slot area. So all around a bad goal, and the Canadiens capitalized. But remember how I mentioned that, Shane Pinto and Cole Caulfield, when they play against one another and these two respective teams, they go off, and they do, because guess what? Shane Pinto gets a goal, ties it up at 2, big bang, boom, we are tied. Ottawa comes back to tie it again. Shane Pinto with his first in 9 games to even this one up at 2. A beautiful pass from Claude Giroux sends it right to Shane Pinto in the slot. Ottawa finally gets a slot goal. Pinto, his first goal in 9 games. His 4th power play goal of the year as well. The second power play goal for Ottawa as well tonight. Ties it at 2 apiece. Tkachuk also gets an assist. And Claude Giroux, with that assist, passes Keith Tkachuk for 71st all-time now, he is, in all-time NHL points. He was 72nd, tied with Keith Tkachuk in that first period, and has now passed Keith Tkachuk. So congratulations to Claude Giroux. That's a hell of a stat. But as I already mentioned, this is the period of Shane Pinto and Cole Caulfield. And Caulfield will get the last laugh in the second period of play as Caulfield lets one rip, blocker side, to make it a Hab lead again, to make it 3-2 for Montreal. I saw some people saying that, Korpisalo probably should have stopped this one. I'm iffy on it. I mean, he probably could have stopped it. It's also an electric shot. But he definitely could have been in position a little bit better on this goal. But I mean, once again, Cole Caulfield has a hell of a release, and you just saw it there. As Canadiens go into the third period up by a goal again. I don't know what it is, but this is a back and forth game. But you love to see it. Both these teams don't have any playoff aspirations. They're playing just for the fans and for pride. And, especially considering Ottawa's performances in their last few games at home, it's great to see Ottawa really putting in an effort in this one. As we go to the third period of play, and the captain again, Al Capitano, is not going to go into the night without making some noise. First second of the night, top shelf, backhand goal, 3-3. Al Capitano, Brady Tkachuk opens the third period with a power play goal. The third power play goal of the game. 24 times in Brady Tkachuk's career, he has scored 2 goals in a game. And this one evens us up again. It's 3-3. Brady Tkachuk from Sanderson and Drake Batherson. And Ottawa looks to be on the cusp of taking their first lead of the game as they're pushing. And they're pushing. And they are pushing. But Caden Primo, who's been fantastic since the Jake Allen trade to New Jersey, was standing tall. Especially that blocker side. Made some big blocker stops. Some stops that, frankly, I could not believe, didn't go in. Oh, and speaking of that, I didn't mention this in the first period. Korpisalo barely stopped a shot that rolled onto the goal line and then rolled off the goal line and stayed out. I've literally never seen that, so shout out to hockey gods for that. But as I was mentioning, Ottawa was pushing and pushing and pushing. But as usual, when Ottawa and Montreal play a back-and-forth affair, some Jared Cowan-ness is going to happen. And the Canadiens would do just that, like they did against Jared Cowan. Unfortunately, it's Jacob Chychrun the victim this time. Alex Newhook puts one in past Korpisalo. A partial 2-1 off Jacob Chychrun's skating in. Wow, remnants of Jared Cowan on that one. Even the camera cutting to Jacob Chychrun looking at the sky after, the own goal. Exactly like Jared Cowan. This one evens us up. Unlike the Jared Cowan goal where it tied things up, this one gives the Habs a lead to make it a 4-3 game. And, of course, Brendan Gallagher gets an assist. The secondary assist. You just hate to see that. But luckily, though, for Ottawa, there was less than 5 minutes to go. But they would keep on pushing. This would not stop their push. Once again, Ottawa was looking to finish off the season at home on a strong note. The last few games at home, Ottawa has frankly looked terrible. They have not made it worth it at all for their fans to spend their hard-earned dollars to watch these guys play. And Jacques Martin, before this game today, said specifically they want to put a good performance there for the fans because they're paying good money and they deserve a good performance. And that is exactly what Ottawa would do after they continued to push in the last few minutes. It would pay off. Shabbat Shalom! Thomas Chabot, tie game again for the 4th time. And this one, Ottawa ties it. Thomas Chabot from Drake Batherson and Jake Sanderson. With just over a minute to go, Ottawa ties it at 4-4. Thomas Chabot, you love to see that. And shout out to El Capitano, Brady Tkachuk, with a huge screen out front to block Caden Primo's vision. But Ottawa with a huge goal here as we go to overtime. Nothing would happen there other than some big saves for both sides. Jake Sanderson as well with a huge defensive stop on a 2-1. But Korpisalo was fantastic. The Habs even hit a post once. And Ottawa, going back the other way, had opportunities. Not as high opportunities or as many opportunities as Montreal. They missed, or whiffed, I should say, on 2 one-time opportunities. That was Pinto and Joseph. So overtime would solve nothing. So we would need a shootout. And, look, Ottawa this year going to the shootout is 4-0. And by the way, I didn't mention this as well. They are 11-4. 11-4 in extra time this year. That is tied for best. So if they can get the win in the shootout, they would go perfect, potentially 5-0 in the shootout. If they don't go to the shootout the next 2 games, the close out their year. And more importantly, they would become the best team in the National Hockey League for, in terms of their record and extra time. And we'll talk about that in a moment because we go to the shootout. And the shootout is just like you expect. The shootout, we see some nice moves and some nice stops. Primo stops, Tkachuk. Caulfield can't even get a shot off. He pulls a Jack Hughes. Batherson puts it home to give Ottawa the 1-0 lead, glove side. And Nick Suzuki, after a Claude Giroux failed attempt, of course it was a slap shot. You love to see it. Would have been electric. Unfortunately, he couldn't put it home. But Nick Suzuki would have to score or Ottawa would come back to win. And they do! Sens win 5-4 over les Montreal Canadiens as Ottawa takes them down 9 times in a row with a 5-4 shootout victory over the Montreal Canadiens as Suzuki is stopped. Korpisalo with the save, and Ottawa is now a perfect 5-0 in the shootout this season, and they are league best 12-4 in the extra frame, and that tells you all you need to know about this Ottawa Senator team. They have the talent. They are so talented, but they need the gel. They need the right coach. They need the extra piece or two to help them all gel together. But that record tells you all that you need to know. This team is full of talent, and teams full of talent more often than not can figure it out. So this offseason is obviously huge, and we have a lot of content coming up, by the way, in terms of the offseason and all the potential moves and the draft and all that stuff. We have a lot of content planned, so stay tuned for that. But look, this is a team with a lot of talent. That overtime or extra frame record tells you all you need to know. And they take care of business again in the shootout, winning this one 5-4 and 1-0 in the shootout. And by the way, Ottawa absolutely deserved this win. I mean, Montreal hanged in it. I don't really know how. Cole Caulfield probably is the reason because Ottawa nearly outshot Montreal by double. The shots were 44-25. They just absolutely dominated and controlled this game. The hits were 34-24 in favor of Ottawa as well. And the faceoffs were actually even at 28 apiece, which is a true testament once again to Ottawa's center depth right now. They were able to hang in there against the Montreal team with some pretty decent centers, just like they have the last few games. Without Norris and Stützle, I'm very impressed with the center core as of late. And the power play was electric tonight. They went 50%, 3 for 6. One of the sole reasons Ottawa was continually able to claw their way back into this one when Montreal kept on taking the lead. Ottawa said, no, we're going to take it right back. Now, for Ottawa, Jonas Korpisalo, once again, the stats don't really show the true impact he had tonight, but he didn't have the greatest game if you look at the stats. 840 save percentage, 25 shots faced, 21 saves. I'm going to be honest with you. Maybe that Caulfield goal, the third one, he probably might have could have stopped. But overall, I'm not going to blame this one on Korpisalo to get to the point where it did at some points. I think he had a solid game overall. And the 840 save percentage doesn't really show the true testament of how he played today. Brady Tkachuk, though, I mean, this guy, he's such a dog. He's literally a unicorn. There's no one in the National Hockey League other than his brother like him. I mean, just look at the stat line. 2 goals, 1 assist, 3 points, 12 shots on goal. What? 12 shots on goal. That is actually insane. But that might be almost as insane as the 8 hits he threw around today. Brady Tkachuk, what a dog. El Capitano, in games that don't matter, he's putting his body on the line. He's leading this team to victories because he knows to put on a good performance for those paying fans in the stands. You love to see it. That's exactly what a captain does. A hell of a performance today for El Capitano, who is, by the way, headed to the World Championships to represent Team USA. It looks like Jake Sanderson and Shane Pinto will also be joining him, which is fantastic news. I always like the World Championships when Ottawa misses the playoffs. It's another opportunity to get to watch some of your favorite players, get to play some more hockey, and more so, it's of course a good experience for them, and it never hurts to play some more hockey. So I'm really excited to see that. And I just quickly wanted to mention Thomas Chabot's game, who frankly looked very good today. He looked like his old self. Of course, got that goal to tie things up. But just look at the shots. 6 shots today, 3 hits, a block as well. A solid game for Thomas Chabot. He always shows up against Montreal. Same thing with Matty Joe, who had 5 shots on goal tonight. He was flying on the ice tonight. I wanted to give him a bit of a shout out as well. And overall, Ottawa played a solid game. I can't lie with you. There was really no blemishes in their game. Really, Greg drew 3 power plays alone today. Ottawa scored on all 3 of those power plays that he drew. So Ottawa played a very strong game, and they get rewarded for it, coming back to take down Montreal with a final score of 5-4 with the shootout victory, as Ottawa now only has 2 games left in the year. Unbelievable. I can't believe it. I hate to see it. But yeah, we'll see what they do on Monday against the New York Rangers, and of course on Tuesday in their final game, game number 82, against the Boston Bruins. Now let's get to the favorite part of these videos for me and for you, the Tankathon spin. Now obviously after we took down the Montreal Canadiens today, we've essentially clinched the 7th spot. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to drop down a bit more, barring, we lose the next 2 and Montreal, wins a couple of games here. They are playing Detroit, so you never know. Those games are usually good between those 2. But, that's enough yapping. Let's just jump right in to the Tankathon spin because, we won on the ice today. Let's see if we can win off the ice. So here we go. No, but Montreal dropped down 2 as well, so we love to see that. New Jersey, what a jump. And Philadelphia as well. Second spin. Long spin. All right. Don't know what's going on here. This is fascinating, I must be honest with you. Okay, well, Calgary. No wonder it took so long. Even the Tankathon, this lottery system, couldn't believe Anaheim, I guess coming up by 1. But Calgary going up to first, that's unbelievable. And the last spin, give it to me, please. All right. What can you do? At least we got the win on the ice. So besides that, thank you all for watching. I appreciate your support. I know this has been a long video, but this might be the last one of the year, so I'm going to have some fun with it. So thank you all for watching. I appreciate your support, and I will see you all on Monday night when Ottawa takes on New York. I'll see you all then. Go Sens, go!
And that's a career.